So for those that we haven't met yet, I'm Inbal, I'm a sacred childbirth mentor, and I help mothers and couples, but especially the pregnant mamas, to realize and own the genial blueprint already instilled within us, simply from being born a beautiful, amazing woman, to give birth with power, with pleasure. Yes, it's possible. I'm going to address the theme of pain on a different training, and manifest our dream birth. And I'm saying that as a mother myself, for 3 amazing boys, and for the thousands of mothers I have already accompanied on their amazing journey of becoming a mother. And today I'd like to share with you a very simple step that you can apply basically from now onward to accompany you on your pregnancy, in order for you to indeed give birth with confidence, with trust, with flow. And this secret step can be applied while you're asleep. This is actually the best setting for that, to do the magic that it does, because it addresses the subconscious, our subconscious, which is most open, most receptive when we are asleep and we are not bothered or occupied by the neocortex and all the stimulation that comes from the outside world. So let me explain a bit further about this topic. I already introduced the idea of the blueprint, of the code, of the program that is already instilled within us, which means that basically on a physical layer, since birth is something that has been happening on this earth for a couple of millions of years, nature or the creation force, however you wish to address this life force energy that we are a part of, this energy, life force, nature has refined the performance of birth into its most genial orchestration. So on a physical layer, basically everything that we need is, we already have it. But since we are more than a body, we are a body, we are a mind, we are spirit, being aware of what is going on, how our mind performs during birth, what is the spiritual journey that we and our baby go through during pregnancy and birth, this awareness will determine the physical manifestation of our birth, how we will feel the contraction, how we will go through them, everything that is supposed to happen during this sacred time. It's all about what's going here on our mind. And why I'm bringing this up? Because we live in a culture that adores and worships the high performances of the mind, the cognition, the rationality, the analysis. Yeah, we are very much operating from our neocortex on an everyday basis. But once we become pregnant, and I'm sure you can relate to that, once we become pregnant, we find ourselves less and less interested, anchored, engaged in this everyday happening, and we dedicate more time to our internal landscape, into what's going on inside. We spend much more time in daydreaming, allowing our mind to drift, to fantasize, and we really settle into this cozy, hopefully we have the time for that, yeah? Into this cozy bubble of a totally different world and realm that's got nothing to do or little to do with the fast-paced world that keeps on moving, yeah, outside of us. And this is actually one of nature's brilliant mechanism to prepare us to the time of birth, because what is supposed to happen, this is the blueprint. Yeah, this is the potential. What is supposed to happen during birth is that this big part of the brain, our neocortex, is supposed to take basically a step aside and go to sleep. We are supposed to be completely uninterested, uninvolved in what's going on around us, yeah? And really withdraw from this happening into what I call the quiet place of our being. Many pregnant mothers, after they have given birth, call it, describe it as, I was on a different planet, I was on a different zone, completely entranced. Yeah, we tend to use a terminology that describes some kind of a landscape, of a space, but actually this space is something within ourselves. But guess what? because we are living again in this culture that adores multitasking and forward oriented and moving things and being very, very active. Most of us are not familiar or accustomed to use these set of skills, set of performances, which asks for relaxation, asks for receptivity, for sinking in. It's even, I call birth actually, with all the action, yeah, and the drama and the contractions and the physical engagement, I see birth actually as mastering the art of doing nothing. We need to completely release any grip, any control, any idea of keeping ourselves out there, and just allow this process, allow this unfoldment to happen by itself, because indeed it's completely spontaneous, intuitive, reflexive. It's something that is happening for us, and our job, of course we are engaged, yeah, this is the duality of life, but our main job is not to come on the way, it's not to interfere what is happening. And we can interfere what is happening when we keep the neocortex alive, operating. And not only that, we allow all these thoughts, imaginary scenarios, fears to come out, to play out, and keep us distracted actually from what is happening here and now on the present moment. And I can assure you, I will sign on any contract that once we deal, yeah, and once we face, and once we are being, yeah, in what is happening here and now in the present moment, we're completely resourced to do that, yeah. It's only when we go here to our shadows and fears and repetitive thought that we go into this trance, into this loop, and then yeah, it's quite challenging to find a way out. That's why I find it crucial not only to support ourselves with good nutrition and sleeping well and exercising and support our physical being, but addressing prior to birth what is happening here, yeah? What are the fears, what are the beliefs that we still carry within us that relate to our ability to go through birth, our ability to jump into this mysterious unknown landscape, yeah? Of course it is frightening and it is stressful because we are used to know and we used to be in control and etc. So that's why I'm finding and I'm using a lot the tool of hypnosis and the entire modality of hypnobirthing, because it's an amazing approach to deal what is happening on the mental layer. And just for us to speak the same language and to be on the same page, hypnosis literally means a natural state of deep relaxation paired with intense concentration or focus. So it's basically an innate ability, skill that we are born with. We all have it within ourselves. And just take yourself to the time where you were reading a book or watching a movie or found yourself so immersed at work, so time passed by, people passed by, and you hardly noticed because you were completely consumed in one task, yeah? So this is actually hypnosis. With that, I know many of us also hold this belief and idea of a stage hypnosis where the hypnotist snaps his fingers and then, I don't know, one of the audience members quack like a duck or doing something funny. This is completely different than what hypnosis truly is, but there is a similarity in principle, because the more you tap, yeah, the more you activate basically a response of calm relaxation and settle into the quietness of your being, reducing the stimulation of what's going on, reducing the activity of your neocortex, and really settle into this comfortable, relaxed, present state. The easiest, then it becomes like snapping your finger, the easiest is it becomes to allow yourself to be drifted and carried into this mind state, and while you give birth, because then all these genial, delicate orchestrations of hormones, of your baby, this beautiful, graceful dance between the two of you can play out without being distracted, without being slowed down, without being inhibited, which most of the way, unless you know differently, opens the gate for intervention and for your birth to be shifted into the more medical realm. Yeah, even though it's not a must. Yeah, there's a very clear roadmap to still maintain the normality, the safety, the naturality of your birth once you become aware of these ways. So going back to the hypnosis, it also means a specific brain wave that we tap into, and this theta brainwave, which is considered to be the seat of creation, of receptivity, where we have the fullest access to our subconscious, and this is the part of the mind that actually holds our deepest beliefs about birth. Do you think that birth is dangerous? Do you think that birth is painful? Your belief about yourself. Do you think that you are able to go through that? Or am I powerless here? Do I need medical assistance? I cannot go through that by myself, etc. Yep, you got the idea. This subconscious holds all these beliefs, and once we put the neocortex aside and we have access to this deepest primal part of our mind, we have the ability actually to shift those beliefs. Yeah, these beliefs it's for us, we may consider it as true. Yeah, but they are not necessarily the truth, right? They are the imaginary creatures of our mind. We developed them due to our past experience, etc. So once we have the access to there, we can turn it around, basically 180 degrees, into a more positive, empowering way of thinking about what is birth and about what are our abilities to go through that with grace, with power and trust. And the best way to address the subconscious is basically when we are asleep. So, because then the neocortex is aside, it's not in the way, and we can have this straight access to this beautiful reservoir and create the shift there. That's why I said it's a very simple step to apply, and best while you're being asleep. So I hope it brought you a bit more of an impression and a taste regarding what is needed to arrive to your birth all primed, not only on the physical layer, most importantly on the mental one, because the more we address, untangle, and dissolves these mental blockages that keeps us from tapping into our future vision, it will ask less of an attention during birth itself, because birth is a time that actually puts a mirror in front of our face, and everything that we have suppressed and decided not to deal with prior, it rises and it asks for an attention and a solution right here and right now. So that's why best to address those themes that are alive within you, those beliefs that you still carry, those fears that are playing out, which by the way are totally normal. Yeah, I gave birth 3 times. Before each of my births, specifically the second and the third, I was already, after going through this amazing landscape, I had an idea what's going on, and still birth is a landscape of mystery. The element of unknown is very much dominant, and I had before each of those births my own questions and fears and uncertainties, because before each birth we are in a different place of life, and there are different things that are playing out, and it's totally normal. So it's not about approaching your birth completely fear-free. It's again totally normal and natural to have that. But still, we want to arrive with as much as possible clear headspace, mind space, so we are trustfully, again, releasing the need to hold on, to grip, to control what is happening on the outside, and go within. And go within and just settle there and be completely present with what is happening. And as said, once we are present, everything that comes along, we are fully resourced to deal, to face, to experience, to go through, without allowing our mind to create this ongoing turbulence. So again, I hope this brought you a bit more of an idea and a taste of what is needed on the mental layer. And if you have any questions, if you want to know more, please drop your comments, leave me a DM. I'm here for you. So you experience your birth in the best possible way, and it is possible. Yeah, this is our birthright. That's what we are born to do. So I'm sending you much, much love on this continuation of the day, and I will see you soon on the second training, which will address a different layer, a different aspect. We remain connected. Much love for now. Bye bye.